Hi, I'm Exelia and welcome to my channel. Come on in, get comfy and let's chat about cosplay. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Heather or Exelia, as you may have seen me online or at events, and I'm a cosplayer from Northeast England. I'm pretty sure everyone's in the same boat at the moment that, you know, the state of the world, not a huge amount of creativity or inspiration going around. I'm the sort of person who really needs a deadline to get excited about something. So there's no events, there's no competitions, there's nothing. So my craft has kind of dried up. I had a little spark at the start and now it's kind of like, it can wait, you know? Why not try something new? So that's where this channel comes in. And this is the first time I've tried anything like this. I've done little bits of video here and there, but this is the first time I've tried something where it's like, oh, okay, we're doing this. So if I'm a little bit awkward, if things are a little bit janky, if the setup isn't great, then please do forgive me. But, you know, gonna learn as we go. Today, to get started, I thought I would do something and just sort of lay myself bare, because normally when I go to events I do things like Cosplay 101, getting started in cosplay, like really beginner friendly events. That's not necessarily what my personality is like. I've been doing this for 15 years. Well, does this year even count? And I have a lot of opinions and a lot of thoughts, and I made a lot of costumes, and I thought what better way to kick things off, really start things with a bang, than to have a good old cosplay roast session. I recently saw a video from Abby Williamson. She's absolutely great. She very recently did something where she ranked all the Halloween costumes, and I was like, damn, I don't have that many Halloween costumes. Why not just do it with cosplay instead? So that's what I'm gonna do. I've selected 15 of my finest costumes, some not so fine, and we're going to categorize them. We have at the top, iconic. And I feel like every cosplayer can relate to this. There's going to be some costumes where even if you wore it for like half an hour, it stood out. People remember it, people care about it, people are like, oh my god, that was you? That's what iconic is for. Next we have, I'd wear it. Yeah, I'd wear it. I'd pull that out, I'd wear that again. Then we have, nice enough. Maybe it wasn't to the best standard, but it's nice enough. Next we have, but why? So these can be costumes where it's like, why didn't you do it properly? Why did you make it? Why did you wear it? Why do you still have it? Like that sort of tier of costume where it's just like, but why? And finally, we have the, oh no, this was a disaster. You should not have done this. And them's the categories. So let's get started. Okay, so first up we have Eleanor from Tales of Berseria. This is quite a recent costume of mine. I can't get enough of wearing this. It's a really nice costume, it's fitted, it makes my body look not like a flabby potato, which is what it usually is when I'm wearing this. It's cool, it's recognizable, the shoes are good. Yeah, I'd wear it. Next we have Lambda Delta from Umineko. I don't know where to put this, because it's like, this was one of the costumes that I made, like, I think this was like 2010, and this was one of the first things that I made where I was like, actually, you know what, I could probably compete in this. You fool. What were you thinking? Like, no way could you have competed in this. Like, you could have entered, but you wouldn't have won anything, you know? I'm gonna put that in nice enough. Next we have Milk from Food Fantasy. This is also quite a recent costume. I think I made it like last year. What's time? Last year? Yeah, last year. Yeah, I'm gonna wear this for as long as I can. There's some flaws to the costume, but like I don't really care, and I'll put that in, I'd wear it. Next we have, we have George Michael from from Wham! This was for an 80s theme party for like a housewarming, I think it was. I bought a Choose Life t-shirt from a shop for a £5. I had this wig that, oh my god, this was the Edward Cullen wig. This obviously was the George Michael wig. It's the wig that I ended up wearing for Carol, that's why I bought it. Also, like, peep the keyring that is the earring, because I don't have my ears pierced, and we were like, this'll do. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in iconic. Next we have Ayeka from Tenshimoyo. This costume specifically is the Ojo-sama Toyobi outfit, which is Call Me Princess. And if you know, you know. I just love the colours. I love the blocking. I love the style of it. I think it's such a cool retro looking costume, but it's really snazzy and it stands out. I'd wear it. Next up we have Ikela from Skies of Arcadia. Skies of Arcadia is my favourite game. I made this costume for ECG Finals in 2017 and it's one of the hardest things I've ever made. It doesn't look like it, and even now I look at it and I'm like, why were you so difficult? I felt a need when I did ECG to do something from something I really cared about, and Skies of Arcadia was it. There was like a short list of different things I was going between and I was like, I have to wear something Skies of Arcadia. I might only get on this stage once. I don't want to put it in iconic because that seems really like big-headed. Look at my competition costume. I didn't win anything for it. Like, I don't care about that. I feel like it's becoming a costume that represents me, but also it's such a pain to wear that I don't want to put it in I'd wear it. I'm gonna put it in iconic. And I don't mean that to be like, oh, it's an iconic costume. No, this is a costume that represents me, so that's why it's going in there. Next up we've got Ikela from Final Fantasy IX. This costume is a historic costume for me because this was the first thing I like qualified for a competition with. This was back in 2012 with Yuka. A great time. And the costume was bashed out in like 3 weeks. So unfortunately the quality isn't that great, and even though it photographed so beautifully, I wouldn't wear it again, but I also don't think it's like iconic tier. I'm gonna put this in nice enough. Because like, it is nice enough. It's a really cute costume. Don't think I'd wear it again. It's kind of waning out of relevancy as I get older, so it's like, yeah, nice enough. Next is Lloyd from Tales of Symphonia. This costume was the first photo shoot that I did, like actual photo shoot, like let's go out, let's pick a day and take some photos, not just get whatever we can get at a convention. I wasn't very comfortable in front of a camera and I'm still not. Lloyd's a pretty important costume. It was one of those costumes that like really built my confidence in wanting to take photos of things and wanting to have high quality photos of costumes. But also the costume was trash. It was awful. My poor mother sewed on all of those buttons and the pattern was terrible, and we washed it once and it turned everything pink, and then I could never wear it again. Everything about this costume is kind of a but why. What an ugly costume. Like, I don't think anyone can wear Lloyd well. Even Lloyd can't wear Lloyd well. But why? Next up is Madoka from Puella Magi Madoka Magica. I'm from the north, like, forgive me for my pronunciation. I made this costume, I competed in this costume, I actually won second place at the SunnyCon cosplay competition, which was pretty awesome. And I was really proud of this when I made it, and now I look at it and I'm like, why? Why did you do half of the things you did on this costume? I often use the phrase ambitious but rubbish. That's what this costume was. I cared so much about like the colour palette and getting everything right with that and making sure that everything was harmonious, but I didn't think about how it would actually look on my body. The bodice had literally no structure to it. I like how my wig turned out, but it looks nothing like Madoka's hair, so it's like, okay, well that's a miss. I like Madoka a lot. If I could remake it, I think I could remake it so much better now and I would be much happier with it, but only because I made so many mistakes with this. So this is going in, oh no. Next up is Stocking from Panty & Stocking with Garter Belt. And this costume, I made this costume twice. The first time I made it, it was for a cosplay club night. It was made in like 6 hours and it was garbage. I enjoyed wearing the costume so much that I wanted to make it again properly, so that's what I did. It's cute, it's iconic, it's recognizable, it's comfortable, it like oomps up the top, cinches in the waist, poofs out the butt, has like really simple colors and lines. Yeah, even though I don't have this anymore, I'm gonna put it in I'd wear it. I would happily make this again. Next up, this is Shikane from Kanozuki no Miko. I really like this costume. I think it's really cute. I made Shikane and Himeko, which is beautifully modelled by my friend Erin, Yuka. It was a costume set that I'd wanted to do for so long. The author Kaishaku made a number of series that I absolutely adore, like back in the 90s, early 2000s. This is definitely going in the but why tier. I made these before going to Japan Expo, which is where this beautiful photo was taken by our wonderful friend Emmy. My wig was a hot mess, but somehow it photographed beautifully with this costume. The sleeves, I didn't have time to sew them into like the little tops, so I just made a rough shape of a sleeve and then slammed it in the suitcase and was like, we can just hand sew them in when we get there. The sleeves didn't fit. If you look at the photo, you'll be able to see how janky these were. The Hakama pants were made with like a third of the fabric that you're meant to use for Hakama, and somehow in the photos they still actually look decent. It looked the part, the costumes looked so crisp and so clean. Why didn't I make them better? Why didn't I put the little bit of extra effort in? We went through to the main hall at Japan Expo to go and watch the, I think it was like the WCS prelims at the time for France. We were boiling. And because the sleeves are so badly sewn in, we just tore them out of the costume and just sat and we were like, no one's gonna take photos of us now. It's fine. So yeah, that's going in, but why? Oh my god, this costume. This is Mila Maxwell from Tales of Exelia. That's Exelia, not Exelia, contrary to popular belief. This costume, what was I thinking? I don't know why I made this. I mean, I know why I made it. There was a cosplay competition. It was down at MCM and I was like, what better thing to do than to make one of the protagonists? Mila was an easier design than Jude was. So I was like, cool, I'll make Mila. I bashed it out in like 5 days, if that. I mean, you can tell. It combines all the things I hate about myself. Like, it exposes my midriff, it has my thighs on show, has my arse on show. I didn't get a chance to finish this costume properly, so much of it was done with like double-sided sticky tape. There are some photos, it's not too evident in this one because I think it was safety pin shut, you know, as you do. I made this costume for a competition. I went down for the competition. I got up stupidly early, I got dressed. The MCM queue took 3 hours to go in, so I missed the competition. I walked in as they were walking off stage. So this costume is coated with a healthy dose of salt. Awful, awful. Now for something a little bit more lighthearted. I'm just gonna put this straight in iconic because that's where it belongs. James from Pokemon. There's just a big part of my heart that is dominated by Pokemon. These costumes. My friend Jen Tate, Gwyneth, she wanted to do Jessie and I was like, oh my god, please can I be James? Please, please let me be James. She's like, yeah, cool. We poorly painted some R's on the tops. We had like the worst leatherette for like the boot covers and the glove extenders. But oh my god, we had such a good time. We only wore them once for a photo shoot. Jessie's wig did not survive and James barely fit together when I wore him. The belt on the pants was literally sewn to the pants because how else are you going to make it look like that? There's no belt loops. Like, where else are you going to attach that to? I know, I'm just going to sew the whole thing together. It felt so like retro and tacky, but in like the best possible way. Iconic. Next we have Prince Sakurai from Cardcaptor Sakura. It's not one of my favourite things that I've ever made, but I just love how it looks. It's a really, really cute costume. The prince design is just so like whimsical and fun. As I finished this, my wonderful friend Bernie, who I adore, she was like, I'll do Sharon. I'll wear that ugly dress. So we put them together for the qualifiers for Clara Cow's Cosplay Cup. This little moo cow here. And we had a lot of fun with it. The performance was pretty much conceived in an evening. 7 separate roles were all recorded by me, and I do not have a voice for radio or for anything, frankly. So it was a little bit like, oh dear. But also, that kind of played into what we were doing, because we were like, oh yeah, it's a school play, it's meant to be a little bit cringy. I'm gonna put Prince Sakura in I'd wear it. Yeah, I would wear it. I still have it. I sometimes take it out to events. It's actually really easy to wear, so like, yeah, I'd wear it. Finally, I did not save the best till last intentionally, but oh my word. This has to go in iconic also, because this, I mean, like, it's not even character names. Like, this is the time myself and my friend Lauren Yeager, we cosplayed as Justin Timberlake and Andy Samberg. From the video 3-Way by The Lonely Island. Yes, it is from the video 3-Way, despite what one guy told me, where he's like, oh yeah, I love Mother Lover, and I was like, it's from 3-Way, and he's like, no, it's from Mother Lover, and I was like, I have looked at the arse of Andy Samberg in low resolution for hours. I know it's from 3-Way. Don't you be putting that in my head, not when I'm half cut at an event. We made the overalls. We were like, we are never going to be able to find these. Like, these are probably designer because of how ugly they are. So we were like, right, get a bunch of fabric, gonna make these, bash them out in a couple of days. That's exactly what we did. So we hadn't announced these. Only a few friends knew that we were going to be doing these. We rocked up to the event, we were getting photos with like the honey in the middle. It was absolutely brilliant. And even though we've only worn them that once, like, oh my god, the amount of people who are like, oh, bring them back, bring them back. So these have to go in iconic. Andy Samberg, iconic. So that's the ranking. I'm not sure if you'll agree, disagree, if you've got any comments. I'm still quite new to this whole like video setup thing. I'm not very confident in front of a camera. This frankly terrifies me. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to watch some more videos, if I ever come out with more videos, then please do subscribe and hit the notification bell. I've heard that's very important. I do intend to convert a bunch of the articles that are currently on my blog at exeliax.co.uk. So things like getting started in cosplay, cosplay competitions, I intend to make a whole series of videos about those. But if you have something that you're really itching to hear about, then please do let me know and I will see what I can do. Otherwise, thank you for joining me and I will see you again soon.